just forget what happened that night. The pain, even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Resident Evil 4 stands out as a near-perfect game, not only as a standalone title, but also as a profound sequel to Resident Evil 2. At its core, it's the story of one man, Leon S. Kennedy, facing an escalating army of madness. Unlike the aimless infected of Raccoon City's T-virus outbreak, the enemies here grow stronger and more organised alongside Leon, creating a gauntlet that tests both his physical and mental limits. The horror Leon endures in Resident Evil 2 is merely the prologue. Resident Evil 4 serves as a mirror and a mockery of that trauma, pushing Leon to confront his darkest fears and his unravelling psyche. For this discussion, I will focus exclusively on the Resident Evil 4 remake. While the original game is a masterpiece, the remake's portrayal of Leon adds significant depth to the themes of trauma and madness that I want to explore. In this version, Leon is darker and more brooding, a hardened veteran defined by struggle, no longer the naive rookie overwhelmed by chaos, but a flood barrier trying to hold back the insanity surrounding him. He becomes a vessel through which the madness passes, carrying the weight of his past experiences as he fights forward. In classic Resident Evil fashion, the enemies in RE4 become progressively more powerful to match Leon's increasing arsenal. But this physical challenge is layered with psychological torment. The infected villagers in the remake don't attack indiscriminately like Raccoon City's zombies. Under Lord Sadler's influence, they act as a unified, hateful force directly opposing Leon. This shift from chaotic zombies to organised enemies reflects a world twisting around Leon, a world increasingly hostile and intelligent in its threat. To better understand Leon's journey in Resident Evil 4, I want to focus on two pivotal moments: the opening fight in the village and his confrontation with Major Jack Krauser. Mechanically and narratively, the village fight is the moment Leon fully commits to the battle ahead. After witnessing his police escort burned alive by the Ganados, Leon's reaction marks a significant shift. Gone is the hesitant rookie cop, now he is the spark that ignites the chaos. His line,
"Here we go,"
captures this transformation perfectly. It's not just a phrase, it's a statement of readiness and determination. Leon is no longer stumbling into danger, he controls the tempo, stepping into the storm fully aware of what's to come. This initial village encounter serves as a crucible for both the player and Leon. For players familiar with Resident Evil 2, it offers a clear demonstration of how far Leon has evolved. The combat is faster and more aggressive, emphasising tactical shooting, resource management, and constant movement. Unlike the slow, lurking horror of zombies, these Ganados are fast, coordinated, and intelligent adversaries. This village is Leon's proving ground, an arena where his experience is tested against the relentless tide of enemies. The environment itself intensifies the sense of dread and chaos. Narrow alleys, crumbling buildings, and the shouts of villagers create an atmosphere thick with tension. Every corner can conceal a threat, and the game constantly pushes the player to anticipate attacks from all sides.
It's my lucky day.
This design choice reflects the thematic core of the remake. Madness is not only external, but surrounds and closes in on Leon. The village is a microcosm of the game's world, unpredictable, dangerous, and corrupt. A key moment in this fight is the introduction of Dr. Salvador, the infamous chainsaw-wielding enemy. He bursts onto the scene suddenly, disrupting the rhythm just as players begin to feel confident in their control. Salvador's chainsaw roars drown out the background noise, his relentless pursuit creating a terror that is more visceral than any enemy Leon has faced before. The chainsaw's grinding sound becomes a terrifying scream closing in on Leon, heightening the suspense and forcing players to adapt quickly or face brutal consequences. Salvador also functions symbolically as a dark reflection of Leon. Both are relentless forces that ignite action. Leon fights to save, while Salvador destroys without hesitation. His unstoppable march through enemies without mercy mirrors the extremes of Leon's mission. Salvador embodies the brutal lengths required to survive and succeed in this fractured world. His sudden death too, unceremonious and brutal, serves as a stark reminder that even Leon, no matter how skilled, is always one step away from death. This fight sets the tone for the entire game. It shifts the series from a slow-building survival horror game into a fast-paced action horror experience. The village is not just an obstacle, it's a trial by fire. The escalating enemy aggression, the claustrophobic setting, and the introduction of new, terrifying foes all push Leon, and the player, to their limits. It's here that the psychological battle begins, with the village becoming a relentless gauntlet that tests Leon's resolve, skill, and ability to cope with the madness around him. If Salvador reflects Leon's present ferocity, Major Krauser embodies his dark past and unresolved trauma. Krauser is more than an opponent. He represents the brutal training and harsh lessons that forged Leon into the man he is.
Long time no see, rookie. Major Krauser? What the hell? Why?
Their confrontation is a battle not just of skill, but of past versus present. Leon fighting the shadow of a man who shaped him. The knife duel between Leon and Krauser, immediately after Luisa's stabbing, echoes Leon's flashback training sequences, reinforcing this motif. In one moment, when Leon tries to draw his gun, Krauser's blade is instantly at his throat, mirroring Leon's early encounter with Ada in the game. Ada, like Krauser, represents Leon's past.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
However, unlike before, Leon is no longer a naive rookie manipulated by her. Now he can stand his ground and fight back, demonstrating growth and resilience. Krauser's role as Leon's superior officer makes this duel a final brutal lesson. He still sees Leon as inexperienced and tries to push him further. This test is underscored by Krauser's makeshift training camp, littered with the reminders of Leon's rookie days, including a photo of Leon in his RPD uniform. However, the presence of Krauser's journal, detailing the plan to capture Ashley, placed openly for Leon to find, suggests Krauser knows he will be beaten and wants Leon to know the truth. The reveal of Krauser's Plaga mutation marks the moment where their paths finally diverge. His transformation, two dangerous arms sprouting from his body, symbolises how trauma consumed him, turning pain and rage into a weapon of revenge.
Strength is everything. The weak can protect nothing.
Leon, however, represents a different path, one of learning and growth from trauma rather than succumbing to it. In their final battle, Krauser's violent, rage-driven attacks are no match for Leon's controlled dodges and counters. This fight symbolises how Leon has learned to deflect not just physical attacks, but the trauma within him. Krauser's defeat, at the hands of his own knife, a symbol of past trauma, serves as a powerful metaphor. Trauma can destroy, but it can also be overcome. As Krauser's final words echo in Leon's mind, he becomes whole, able to finally close the door on his past.
I dreamed well. Leon.
Leon takes Krauser's knife and transforms it from a symbol of vengeance and suffering into a tool to protect and save Ashley, embodying how trauma, when faced and mastered, can be turned into strength. Resident Evil 4 Remake masterfully blends physical action with psychological depth, using its enemies and key characters to reflect Leon's journey through trauma and madness. The village fight establishes Leon as a battle-hardened veteran confronting an escalating threat, while the chainsaw-wielding Salvador serves as a dark mirror of Leon's relentless drive. The confrontation with Krauser crystallizes the game's themes. Leon faces not just a powerful foe, but his own past and the choice between succumbing to or overcoming trauma. Leon's evolution, from the rookie cop in Resident Evil 2 to the brooding, resilient hero in Resident Evil 4 Remake, transforms the game from a simple horror shooter into a nuanced story of struggle and survival, both external and internal. Through relentless enemies and haunting encounters, Leon's gauntlet is not just a physical journey, but a psychological battle, one that ultimately defines him as a survivor who refuses to be broken by the madness around him.